Yeah, it's great to see familiar faces. We have been focusing on Forms Designer over the last month or so, actually since the beginning of May, so 3 months. And we are just released a newsletter, I think it was 2 days ago, Jenny, about the 4.7
Yes.
release. So we have finished what we wanted to do. We're actually right now adding a few more features that that I'm sure you'll love. We've got a XPath formula editor update Jimmy's been working on. And we have a new UI for some of the property panes, for some of the tables, table layout stuff. We've got save as coming and revision history potentially in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Although we haven't finalized that. So we're going to keep um, the focus on Forms Designer here for the next few weeks and continue on after that if you've got feedback for us. But we really wanted to have a good point where we could say this was a feature parity with InfoPath Designer. And I think we're 4.7 is pretty close. I mean, if not there, the formula editor, the XPath formula editor that Jimmy is going to launch in 4.8 will be, I think, the final thing there. We have so much more to offer than InfoPath Designer as well, so that there are other features out there. And we're going to continue to work on the UI to make it easy and add new features, add the ability to create forms quickly, and integrate AI and everything else. So that's my quick update. We're very close to our start. Hillary, any other got a short list of attendees today, but thank you all for being here. If you got questions for us, this is our second webinar using Teams. You can click on the Q&A at the top. You know Teams already because you've been using it longer than we have. Well, we've been using it forever, but not for webinars. So if you got questions, other questions that are completely unrelated to what the topic is today, then feel free to ask those as well. I'm going to shut up here. Hillary?
Hi, everybody. So my name's Hilary Stupa. I'm a developer at Qdabra Software. I recognize your name, so I'm guessing you probably recognize mine. I mentioned at the very beginning of the call, my power's gone out. I'm running off my phone hotspot. If I disappear, it's not out of lack of enthusiasm. It's just simply a technical difficulty. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this updated glass signature control that we have. I'm excited to show it to you. It's lovely. We're giving the forms designer devs a chance to catch their breath. We have had so much positive feedback from everybody over the changes they've made. And I hope that if you haven't had a chance to be using some of these improvements, that you take that opportunity soon. If you're on-prem, reach out to support@qdabra.com. Let's get you updated so you can try these wonderful new things. But today, we're going to take a look at the glass signature control and some changes we've made for that recently. I've got a few slides to walk through. I'll show you a quick demo of what the control looks like now and the steps that you can take to upgrade an existing one. I thought it would be nice to record those just in case anyone wants to give it a try. So we're going to talk about what's new, how to add it to your form, the upgrade steps, and we'll do a quick demo. So nothing too long here, no big interruption to your day, I hope. So what's new? We're actually using a new signature pad control. It's more modern and it's being actively updated. It's open source, it's in GitHub, and it's being actively updated. The prior one we were using seemed to be kind of losing traction. So this is a newer version. This new control also allows you to type instead of just signing. That's a very nice option for those of us who write like what you can see in the screenshot. It's nice to be able to type it just in case you want anybody to read that signature. And we do have the option of changing the font. Got some color-coded buttons, nice and modern, material icons, easy to preview and read before you click OK. The signature pad script is loaded on demand instead of stored in the form. That can prevent you from having to update that script in the future if there's a bug fix to it. And of course, you can easily see what your signature looks like before you confirm it. Now, if you've got a brand new form, look, if you're starting from scratch, we have a starter form for you that already looks lovely. It's got some beautiful, CSS in it. You'll see it shortly. And I would just start with the starter form. I wouldn't mess around starting from scratch. But if you have an existing form that doesn't have signatures and you want to add this is very straightforward. You add 3 resource files that we'll include with the webinar package. You add these load resource commands for your resource files, and then you're also going to add a load resource command for the Google font material icons, which were those classy little draw type, clear, save, etc. icons you're seeing there. And I'll show you how to do that. And of course, that's in the starter form. I've also got a note as to the correct command here in the slides. You also need to have a field for your signature, to store your signature. And that would be base 64, right? A picture or file type of field. And that's where you would store your signature. I've got it in a section here. And then I've got a little toggle field here that I'm using for determining what to show and what to hide. The command will update that toggle field for you. It makes showing and hiding things very simple. Now, existing one. Update to the latest resource files, which we'll have for you just to make sure you've got the latest CSS, the latest signature pad JavaScript. You make sure you're loading the correct files with your load resource command. We'll talk about that here in a second at the demo. Make sure you're loading the material icons. And if you happen to be using any parameters that aren't supported in this new version, our original version had a parameter of either placeholder class or placeholder ID. We've simplified that to just using placeholder ID. So if you were using placeholder class, you would change that parameter name. You wouldn't need to change your class or your screen tip. And then the width parameter's been removed. Just use kind of a table, strain your size or section. On to the demo. And yeah,
So I'm hearing a little bit
so
of cutouts, Hillary. Sorry, I
yes.
just want to, maybe it's just me because I'm in Japan. Hillary, Jenny, do you hear the cutouts?
I did, just a
Yeah.
little half-second ones.
So just go a
But I
little
I
think
slow.
I
apologize.
posted
It's the
anything.
network. Yeah,
It is totally.
it's the
Just go a little
network.
slower. Hillary, I had a quick question for you. And maybe this sharing as well, but the question I had was, we've had XCPs for this in the past. Do we have an XCP for this? I mean, now that Forms Designer supports custom XTPs, that was the question in my mind. I should have asked you this before the webinar.
It's a great question. I do not have a custom XTP for this at this point, but it's certainly something we could put together. And I think that's a really good idea. I have one place I could double check and see if one already existed, but I think because this work was pretty new, I don't think an XTP has been created for it yet. So that's definitely something I'll put on my radar because I think that's a really good idea.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, and I was probably talking too fast again because of my network not being able to keep up. So I'll try to slow down. So this is our starter form, and here's what our new signature looks like. And it's just like what we were seeing in the screenshot. You can draw, you can type, you can select, a font if you'd like it to look a little nicer, right? And you can save that. And now you've got your signature. Here's what the prior version looked like. And you can see it's perfectly serviceable, right? It's just not as exciting, right? This is just, it looks a little glossier, a little prettier, a little more modern. So I think it's a nice improvement. And I think will make your forms where you're using signatures
Wait. I didn't
look more
see the
modern
previous
and up
one.
to date.
Sorry, we didn't see the previous one.
Oh,
I don't think so.
okay.
I
So
see
here
new
we are. Here's the
improved.
previous one.
So I see new
Okay, I
improved.
just switched.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pause a little longer. Does it show glass signature form original yet?
No, sorry. Oh, there it goes. Finally.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not
Hotspots.
great. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the hotspot is not living up to its name. It's not so hot.
It's too hot. It's burning. So,
All right, but we've all kind of seen the original now.
yep, thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys. So hopefully, I think everybody, yeah, I know everybody on this call has my email address. So you guys know how to reach out to me if you need more information on this. And of course, support@qdabra.com. So we may just end up re-recording this to get this demo a little smoother without the hiccups. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see Forms Designer. And here's my V1 form, my original form. And I'm going to change this name to say original upgraded.
It's
We'll
very
say,
fascinating. You're
okay.
good. You're good.
I'm good now. Okay, good. I don't know. The internet is not, it's a mystery. The hotspot is a mystery. So, all right, what I need to do is I need to update my resource files here. And I have those handy, or should have had those handy. Let me just get to that. Okay. This Teams keep suggesting I'm sharing sensitive content, and I'm laughing about it because I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, I appreciate the heads up. Okay. So I need to add my resource files. As I mentioned, there are 3 of them. There are screen tip swap, show signature, and the signature CSS. So I'm going to add all 3 of those because this is a form that has already had signature control in it. Some of these files may already exist in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and overwrite because I need to have the latest, right? And so let's get our signature.js and our signature CSS. Okay, so that's all taken care of. I'm neurotic, so I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to take care of my load resource commands. Now, this form, because it has some other UI stuff going on, it already has a command here to load the screen tip swap. If you're using a very old version of this, you might have a resource that you were loading instead that's called swap class is the old name. So make sure you're loading screen tip swap. Otherwise, I'm loading show signature JS and signature CSS already. This one I no longer need to load because we're loading our new signature pad from the JavaScript that shows the signature pad. So instead, I need to load the material icons from Google to give me those pretty buttons, right? So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. You can see we're using allow external here to allow loading these from this URL, and these are just the Google material icons that we're using to make our button pretty. I'm going to say OK. All right. I'm going to check my command here. Okay, and this all looks good. I'm using a pin color of green here. You can use pin color all lowercase now too, instead of using the camel case. And then you can use from HTML color names. You can use any of these color names. You can use the hex code with a # in front of it. You can use the RGB code with RGB open parenthesis, close parenthesis around it. So instead of green, let's do this RGB purple just for a change, right? And back we go. And so for my pin color, I'll do RGB. Nice because you could actually make your pin color dynamic if you wanted to, right? You could use a concat here and pass it in. All right, and I'm just going to make triple sure here that my section has a screen tip on it. It does. You'll note my command was using that for my placeholder ID class signature. So that's all good. So let's just hit save and see where we're at. So we're going to save. And then we're going to open. And sign this form. Oh, look, new signature pad. And you can see I've got my pretty purple, and I can hit save, and bingo, I am upgraded. So if you were adding this to a new form, the main thing is to make sure you have let me hit done here. Make sure you've got a base64 binary picture or file type. And we put it inside of a section. That section is what we use to kind of show hide for the placeholder of whether or not we're showing the signature pad or the actual signature. And then my sign this form button and my section are both using that is showing signature toggle field to determine whether or not to show this. And like Patrick said, we should make an XTP out of this. So we'll definitely do that and have that for you, because
Well,
it would just be so much nicer.
Yeah, you mentioned data-driven color. Would there be any
Yeah,
benefit
if
to
you want
that?
to. No, but I just think it's fun.
You said for the pin,
For the pen color, yeah. I mean, I just think it's
Okay.
kind of fun. I mean, you could use a concat statement for your command, and you could basically do something like, have a color field that is set to one color if it's, John from
Approved.
accounting, and another color if it's Becky.
Oh,
I just
or
thought
they
that was
could do
kind of
it
a
based on
fun.
the status, right? Like if they rejected it, well, you wouldn't have them sign it if they rejected it, but
Yeah, they wouldn't sign it if they rejected it. I mean, I don't know that it's that interesting of an idea. It's just I like colored pins, and I was like, oh, that would be fun, So I wouldn't argue that it has like any kind of business standpoint, but I think it's kind of cute.
there must be a business benefit here. We're just trying to,
Must be,
we just have to
must
think
be.
about it. Awesome.
So that's it. That's what I have to show you guys. And I'm not sure if anybody has, I see a little red in the Q&A, so I'm gonna, before I
That was a
move on to the
yes.
next slide, just in case somebody wants to see.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I had my question there as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so
Okay.
we're trying to do these webinars every 2 weeks now, and guaranteed the next webinar will be a return to Forms Designer to show these features I mentioned at the beginning of the call. Jimmy's XPath editor, which is from, just like the conditional editor. I don't know if you were on the call a couple weeks ago. He showed this really new innovation on the editing of conditions, much better than InfoPath Designer. And the XPath editor has also got some new twists. Anyway, we look forward to helping you if you're moving off of InfoPath. We have that lowest cost solution and fastest migration path for you. We've been in business now 22 years almost. We'll be 22 in September. So we've got a long track record here of helping people to get the most out of their investments in Microsoft and InfoPath. We also have a lot of new technologies, which are not mentioned in this slide. Over the years, we've built these accelerators to help you get more value out of your business process. Central Flows, number 4 here, is one that we're pitching. It's as a replacement for Power Automate. It's got a few things that are unique that make it really cool. The ability to have envelopes that are editable. You don't have to worry about editing HTML. We've also been shipping AI features. We have a QDoc chat, a support portal that we can just give to you, and you can run it on-prem, you can run it online, you can pick the AI you want, and it's really got a lot of features in it. It's just a way for you to take all of your documentation and give it to your customers within a chatbot and make it more intelligible. And I was planning actually on doing a bonus demo in this meeting tonight on thanks, Lori. I was planning to do a bonus demo on how we're using AI internally to improve our processes. And I'm very close, but decided, I've talked with Hillary earlier that I'm just not ready yet. So we'll do this in the next webinar, but we're trying to improve our internal processes and mainly the humans. So, AI is great because it allows us to check the humans for hallucinations. You worry about AI for hallucination, but humans have bad ideas too. We should validate that. We should
We
validate
do.
it. We should have memory. We should have more ideas faster, right? So the idea here is we're trying to increase the productivity for you. Internally, we're doing this by using these workflows to condense the information, create context memory for the humans when they meet, because the humans have to meet. You can't generate ideas unless you meet with other humans, and whether that be at the water cooler or in an online meeting like this. And those meetings are what the friction in those meetings. It's like a physics experiment, right? You're going from a liquid state to a gaseous state. The more energy you put into it, the more ideas will evaporate. And those some of those ideas will be really good, worth clinging on to and say, this is going to help us reduce costs and improve our effectiveness. So I'll talk more about that in the next meeting, next webinar, in 2 weeks, meetings, webinars. Any other questions for us?
Well, thanks so much for coming, and thank you for your patience with my little network hiccups. And I hope you all have power and a wonderful day.
You need that for running your GPUs to can generate the energy to evaporate your liquid.
Excellent plan.
All right. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
everyone.
Take
Thanks
care.
so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.